Wow, thank you to all the incredible leaders for telling us their stories of change. We heard about the Free to Menstruate cycle, campaign, the importance of us utilizing our voices within social media and media communications overall. And I'm really reminded of that African proverb: if you want to go fast, go alone, and if you want to go far, go together.
Altogether.
We're really getting the message loud and clear. Change is possible when we come together with others, collaborating across multiple domains. And we're just so pleased to see all the amazing things that you're doing. But of course, to all our audience members, please do share your stories with us using the hashtag 1.8 billion.
Of course. You know, one thing that I was particularly interested by in the plenary session we just saw there was this whole idea of news being a conversation. You know, my background coming from news, quite often I feel like people can forget that news isn't just a reporter talking to the audience, but actually it should be this collaborative space where, you know, there is a bit of dialogue and there is a bit of conversation. So that was super interesting to me. But now it is over to another crew who are making a big noise. Now check this out. They're a metal band from Indonesia. So get ready to make some moves. They are the voice of Bachaprot. Whoa, they have some energy. Absolutely love that. And what an important message as well. Well, now we're going to Michelle Bachelet, former president of Chile and long-standing champion of adolescent health and well-being.
Hello, everyone. Taking part of this Global Forum for Adolescents, Wherever you are in the world, whether you are a youth activist or a policymaker, a health professional, journalist, or a student. And a big, loud thank you to Voice of Basheprot for that amazing performance. I was almost literally blown away by the energy and passion of your music. Basheprot, it sounds quite like my own name, means noisy in the Sandanese language. And this is important because we all have to be more noisy. I'm so impressed by the noise being generated here by so many youth and adolescents, not only those of you who are speakers, but by the poets, singers, visual artists, dancers, and drummers. Yes, it is wonderful for us all to be together in this rich, diverse, and creative mix, but it's also powerful to hear each other, to learn from each other, to be inspired by each other. During the 2 packed days of this Global Forum for Adolescents, we're witnessing the culmination of years of hard work on the part of so many committed people in so many different countries. I want to congratulate all of those who have worked so hard to bring it together, especially those who have good news of progress to inspire us. This work is not easy. I know from my own experience and from the history of my country and many others that the struggle for our freedoms is the most important struggle in our lives. These freedoms include our rights to choose what happens to our bodies, our right to a voice at political decision-making tables, our right to dignity, respect, equality. I also know from my own life and from the challenges which face so many activists that to stand up to reclaim your power can be risky. When we demand our rights, it can feel like we are faced with overwhelming forces, and it takes immense courage to do so. And this is why solidarity is so important. If we work together, we can succeed. What I'm seeing at this Global Forum for Adolescents is that we are united by the belief in our common goals. And as I said to you, adolescents and youth who have contributed so much to this event, that if you stay united and you continue rising, you continue leading, then you can be whatever you want to be. The world is yours, be noisy and take it.
Thanks to Michelle Bachelet, a legend and an inspiration. And now we have 2 great course sessions for you to choose from. These are about some huge risks faced by young people all over the world. The first is on the topic of substance abuse, and the title is A Healthy Dose of Change, Reducing Harm Through Youth-Driven Drug Education Solutions. And of course, we have a second one that's all about the awful toll of road traffic injuries, which claim lives every 2 minutes somewhere in the world. That session is called Driving Change, Youth Engagement for Improved Road Safety. But first, more 1.8 news with coverage from global events.
Unite! Unite! Rise! Rise! Lead! Lead!
हेलो, मेरा नाम है विशाल कश्यप और मैं रिपोर्ट कर रहा हूं दिल्ली, इंडिया से 1.8 न्यूज़ के लिए। सेंटर फॉर कैटलाइजिंग चेंज यानी C3 व्हाट यंग पीपल वांट कैंपेन के द्वारा इंडिया के 11 स्टेट्स से 1,30,000 से भी ज़्यादा रिस्पॉन्सेस कलेक्ट कर चुका है। और आज यानी 6 अक्टूबर को C3 इवेंट कर रहा है दिल्ली स्कूल ऑफ सोशल वर्क के स्टूडेंट्स के साथ। सो लेट्स फाइंड आउट व्हाट इंडियाज यंग पीपल वांट।
तो जब हम यंगस्टर्स के चैलेंजेस या प्रॉब्लम की बात करते हैं तो सबसे पहली चीज़ है डिजिटल डिवाइड की। कहीं किसी के पास हाथ में टैबलेट, लैपटॉप और बहुत सारी फैसिलिटीज़ हैं, तो वहीं कहीं किसी के पास एक छोटा सा फ़ोन या इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जैसी भी एक्सेस नहीं है।
हमारे भारत में ही बहुत सारे ऐसे लोकेशंस हैं, अनटैप्ड लोकेशन है, जहां वेरियस टैलेंट्स छुपे हुए हैं, बट अभी भी हमें डिसेंट्रलाइज करना पड़ेगा टैलेंट हंट के लिए, ताकि हम ऐसे नायाब हीरे को तलाश सकें और उन्हें निखार सकें फॉर द ओलंपिक्स एंड मेनी अदर इवेंट्स।
The young people, they are usually cast aside saying that they are not enough experienced or they don't have the ability to make a choice or to give opinion on important matters. Our opinions are not given enough value in order to make this change, the grand change. But we are the youth, we are the next generation.
पीयर प्रेशर के कारण बचपन से ही अननेसेसरी कॉम्पिटिटिव इन्वायरमेंट में स्टूडेंट्स को रहना पड़ता है, जिसके कारण मेंटल हेल्थ उनकी बहुत डिस्टर्ब होती है और वेरी टेंडर एज में, एडोलेसेंस एज में सुसाइड जैसे कदम स्टूडेंट्स लेते हैं।
Hello, my name is Lara Boujaber and I'm from Lebanon, and we're gathered here today in the Arab Adolescents Forum in Tunisia. We were discussing several things. Some are limitations. We don't have data in our region, and this is a very irresponsible and very devastating and disappointing point. So, for that, we request data and youth engagement and research in order to have tangible resolutions. And for that, we discussed some recommendations on several aspects that hopefully we can attain them and we have them as tangible resolutions. So, as for participation and interaction from youth and in their societies, we discussed several things. Some of them is that we request quota for women representation as well as youth representation and a percentage in the parliament. And as well, we request to have safe spaces by which people, and especially youth, can go to, can discuss their fears, their emotions, and everything, as well as we need to change the referral system so that we can have a different and quick and tangible resolutions. As for health, we discussed several topics as well as injuries. We have devastating numbers in accidents in the MENA region, and for that, we need to raise awareness and work on programs regarding to car accidents as well as non-communicable diseases, by which lifestyles should be changed, and we need to be careful about our health and take care of our mental health as well. Mental health is crucial and is a priority, and so for that, programs must be done today before tomorrow. Mental health isn't just any topic, it's the umbrella of everything. So we need to know the difference between the terminologies, we need to know how to cope for stress, for example, which is a basic thing we need in our educational systems to have responsible citizens. These recommendations and many more should be taken held from the organizations and government to be taken as serious as possible from today before tomorrow.
The gaming industry is about to experience an unprecedented shift, and we girls will be at the forefront. We're going to define the future of gaming by transforming it from within. This is our chance to shatter stereotypes and let our strong voices be heard. In a growing number of countries around the world, almost half of gamers are girls, but currently, less than a quarter of game creators and developers are female. Well, we're on a path to change that, to go from playing to learning to earning.
Technology and game development require brain, so boy can do it, you as a girl also can do it.
UNICEF is teaming up with the gaming industry and partners in a coalition to help girls like me develop skills such as coding, social entrepreneurship, design, negotiation, and communication.
If someone wants to be in the industry and they have the potential, the mindset, then they should be able to be there.
The game's about to change.
I'm humble and grateful to just be able to connect and meet with other girls from all around the world.
You think we come from different countries, different cultures, but then you talk and you realize you're all just human and you have so many of the shared passions, same experiences.
Advocacy journey can be a lonely journey, and it's really good to meet other like-minded women and actually share experiences and how they're championing their work in their various communities.
And I think that's why this work is important now more than ever. Climate, reproductive health rights, adolescent girls' rights are all intersected and we're not living single-issue lives.
Si j'ai une demande, surtout beaucoup, c'est d'inclure les jeunes, surtout les adolescentes, en ce qui concerne la prise de décision sur la santé des reproductions.
I feel like if we saw more representation, not just of women, but of women from marginalized communities,
young migrants, young women living with disabilities, we would have a very different kind of policy and we would have a very different kind of culture.
نكتسب خبرات جديدة، نتعرف على ناس جديدة، ناخذ ثقافات جديدة، نجد حلول، كنا مع بعض إيد واحدة نقدر نجد الحلول مع بعض.
There will be a young girl even watching this and she'll be like, oh, I want to be there where she's standing right now. And that's how she'll strive, also helping her community, helping adolescent girls. And yes, I think it's very important.
There's real immense power in the fact of you using your voice. Just be you in every room and just do what you are called to do.
Don't let your age determine what you can do in life.
Il faut toujours commencer avec des petits moyens et après on va arriver au top.
You're worth more than you think. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Unite! Rise! Lead! Young people, this is our time.
I am more than just a statistic. You see, thanks to my existence, the society can now be optimistic about the future. But with all these road crashes, how do you expect me to get to my future? Huh? My father used to say, work hard and make your life an easy one. But the road to my destiny is not an easy one. They say that life is what you make it, but how will I make it when decision makers won't let me be a participant? I can see what is happening to Mother Nature. Climate change is all around me, I don't need a lecture. No, I don't wanna sit back, I wanna take charge. All I need is opportunity, it doesn't take much.
These dreams are my only hope to the future. Will you walk with me, walk with me? I won't stop claiming it. Stop blaming me, a voice man. Claiming it. Safe road down. Claiming it. Safe space. Claiming it. Clean air, what? Claiming it. Stop blaming me. There's no planet B. Safe road. Claiming it, yeah.
Yeah, we're claiming it. I said, we're claiming it. Yeah, we're claiming it. We're claiming it. Zebura crossing, zafuka decoration. Chechini mweno nation, waberewo education. Kubyenkozesa y'ekkubo okulungamya abatambula abavuzi n'abasaabaza amateeka ku kkubo. Nabwega kwasibwe mama Africa okusanyawo obutonde kutema ttabi gwe kwotudde. Abavubuka naddala abakyala twetaaga participation mu kukola decision.
We are the youth of the world. We need our voices to be heard. We're working together to make the earth better. Good roads to ride on, clean air to breathe in. A better place for you
Africa
and
me. We need a seat with the leaders, not on the side with cheers. Our influence is bigger than all the fears. That's why we drive on the road on full gears. Over 1 million youth perish, it all brings tears. Climate change, save our green, earth space. Young minds can combine to save our race. The ecosystem is all at stake. Emission from cars not giving us a break. The youth don't drive so clean, no seatbelts on, slow down, speed kills out there. Give us a chance to speak, we can articulate the facts. Work with us more, we can surely reduce the deaths.
These dreams are my only hope to the future. Will you walk with me, walk with me? I won't stop claiming it. Stop blaming me, a voice man. Claiming it. Safe road down. Claiming it. Safe space. Claiming it. Clean air, what? Claiming it. Stop blaming me. There's no planet B. Safe road. Claiming it, yeah.
change how youth engagement in road safety can positively impact adolescent health and well-being. Today is day 2 of the Global Forum for Adolescents, and we are sure that you're going to enjoy this session because it is youthful. We have amazing leaders from all over the world that will be sharing with us their views, so you are most welcome. And a few house rules. Please click the top right corner to introduce yourself in the chat. We want to know where you're joining us from, what you do, where you're doing your engagements from. Also in the second icon, if you click on the question mark icon, which is the second on your bottom, you will get to ask any questions from any of the speakers. In case you want to share your thoughts, you can use that icon. Youth engagement in road safety. Globally, road traffic crashes are the #1 killer of young people aged 5 to 29 years. And we have over 200,000 deaths annually of adolescents. And this means a death every 2 minutes. Things are losing our future we have a lot of our sisters, our siblings, our children dying on the road every day, and this has to change. And within we have young people joining us from Argentina. We have young leaders joining us from India. We have young leaders joining us from Vietnam who will be sharing with us their thoughts, and we welcome you to use the icon I mentioned, the question icon, in case you have any questions that you want to address to them. And with the national commitment going on in different countries, this is our opportunity to solicit a high-level global political commitment to adolescent well-being on so many issues. And our interest as young people here is road safety today, because once again, we are losing young people. So many young people are more likely to die in a road crash than from any other cause globally. Like we said, this is going to be a youthful session, an interesting session, and we shall have a number of polls, a number of quizzes as the session starts. And I welcome you to take our first poll. That is, the first poll is, we want to know where you're coming from. We have a diverse audience joining us today, so please feel free to take the first poll, which is on where you're coming from, where you're joining us from. And the second poll is on your experience on the road. Have you or anyone close to you, a family member, could be a friend, could be a classmate, been in a road crash? We would like to know that as well. So please get your phone, get your laptop, whatever gadget you're using, and let us know where you're joining us from, and also your experience on the road with a road crash. We shall go into our next session. As the results of the poll come in, we will share with you the findings and the summary of your thoughts. But we would like to go into the second part of our session, which is a video on the 1.8 billion campaign that has been running and how young people have been leading and engaging in this campaign.
Road safety and youth are interconnected in so many ways.
Road safety remains under-prioritized despite how it is the leading cause of mortality among young people.
I would like to see more safe crossings on the roads when we're walking, if they don't stop, they just go. I would like them to stop when we're walking.
My journey is actually hard because I travel 3 to 4 hours to school and I have to wake up early in the morning, and also I arrive home late and it's dark and it's unsafe for me to travel.
Road traffic crashes are the leading killer of young people, and it's very important that they're at the forefront of designing cities and designing communities where we can walk safely.
There's no way governments can achieve the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030 if they don't change the way they are doing things. And one of it is including youth voices and creating systemic mechanisms to include them in all the decision-making process around road safety and other sustainable development goals.
So let's work together to mainstream road safety as a key issue that can help us to
advance the SDG targets such as SDG 3, SDG 4, SDG 5, SDG 13, SDG 11. The list is so long.
Wow, amazing. That video says a lot. We definitely need youth leadership. We need your young voices when it comes to road safety and reverting the statistic, this dangerous statistic. We can't continue to look on as we lose a lot of young people on the road. Um, Now, like I mentioned before, we have amazing leaders who will be joining us to share with us their experience. First on board is Ezekiel Nadish, an amazing young leader from Argentina. He is a coordinator of education and road safety at Asociación Minu, and he's also a regional leader for Latin America at the Global Youth Coalition for Road Safety, initiated by yours. And today he's going to be sharing with us his inspiring journey in road safety advocacy at local level. You are most welcome, Ezekiel. Over to you.
Yes, perfect. So, thank you, Oliva. And thankfully, my advocacy journey in road safety did not start with tragedy, as the story of many activists do. I got engaged in road safety projects because I was invited to an event on traffic education organized by the youth rights NGO I volunteered for. The thing is, uh, how do we transform that energy, pain, or joy our backstory gives us into the power for change? First of all, work on something that's meaningful to you and also to the people around you. You better not work alone, so you will have to have a motivated team or coalition, and maybe it matters to you for a specific event in your life, or maybe because statistics and the news show it is a problem in your community. In January 2022, we gathered our volunteers in Asociación Minu and asked them what was their main concern in the streets. Distracted driving was the main answer. It is a risk factor growing everywhere, and that trend is quite visible in Buenos Aires. In my city, more than 60% of all road crashes on highways are caused by distracted driving. And we, the youth, are exposed to it, not only because of our own actions, but also because the adults. And we have to do something about it. In 2022, we won the Local Actions grant by the Global Youth Coalition for Road Safety with our project Don't Get Distracted, which was about raising awareness in social media and public spaces and reaching out to legislators to bring distractions to the political agenda. In Latin America, 26.6 per 100,000 young people aged 20 to 24 are killed on the road of our region every year. For this age group, Latin America is the third most dangerous region after the Middle East and North Africa and Oceania. Youth in LATAM face a great deal of challenges, ranging from poverty to access to quality health and education. And this is all aggravated by the great toll of road crashes death every year. In most Latin countries, young people are exposed to low standard vehicles, but mainly to being vulnerable users, both as pedestrians or motorcyclists in low standard roads. This reality must change now. To prevent more road crashes, fatalities, and injuries, especially among the youth, we must empower youth. Talk to authorities, make yourself heard, organize and mobilize for the changes we need. Claim for meaningful youth participation in the decision making process. Last month, I, among 23 other young advocates from 18 countries, met in Madrid to plan how we can, as the coalition, harness the potential of young leaders worldwide. Your potential. You too are invited to join us at the Global Youth Coalition for Road Safety and start claiming our space.
Wow, very inspiring, and definitely the journey to road safety advocacy for so many young people is not a straight line; it's a bumpy line. And we are going now to hear from a young leader from Vietnam, Uy Tran, who will share with us some of the challenges she has encountered when dealing with governments and so many issues of meaningful youth engagement in road safety. Yes, over to you, Uy.
Yeah, hi, I'm Uy. I'm from Vietnam. So now I will share you more about the power of youth and the challenges to convince the government. Well, in Vietnam, we have to work on the road with motorbikes and cars. It's very scary. When I was going through school as a student, I was always afraid, but I didn't know who to talk to. Just yesterday, my little sister shared with me a shocking video of a road crash that happened in front of her high school. In this video, a student crossing the street is badly hit by a motorbike. And even after 1 minute, when the video stops, he's still lying on the road. And this happens every day in Vietnam. Today, I work for an organization focusing on road safety for children and young people. Every day, I'm excited about what I do because I work directly with youth in my country to increase the safety on the roads, especially for youth to be safe to go to school and come back home. For this, we use the power of young people. Youth are very connected. So we came up with the idea of a mobile application for every Vietnamese young person to use. On this application, you can share about roads when you feel safe, unsafe, or very unsafe. Besides, we even created a video about this application with a famous Vietnamese rapper. The video is becoming popular at the moment because many youth are sharing it on social media. This way, we show young people that they have the power to raise their voice for change altogether. Imagine where you live. If all the young people in a city report a dangerous road, then the adults have to make changes to the road, right? But in my work, I realized that adults think that they cannot trust children and youth because we have no experience. Because of this, we also have to convince the adults, for example, the government. We want them to listen to and work with youth. So every day, my role is to show them that they can trust what youth are doing. For example, the government needs to trust the information coming from youth, from our mobile application. In my organization, one of our daily jobs is to prove to the adults that youth is a part of the population they can count on. We have to find solutions together to save lives on the road. And youth is a big part of the solution.
Definitely. I like the last line you've said. Youth are the biggest part of the solution. And we definitely want young people at the decision making tables as we plan for the future in our respective countries, as also the world in general. Under commitment, we are seeing countries like South Africa committing to low speed areas and safe school zones, countries like Botswana committing to designing transport policies to enable safe walking and cycling, among other issues to do with road safety. We now want to move to our youngest panelist of today. She is called Guncha from India. And Guncha, you're welcome on board. What would you like to share with us today?
Thank you so much, Olivia, for introducing me. It's a moment of great pleasure to be the youngest speaker on this coveted panel. So I'm really excited, and now I'd like to begin with my speech that has the essence of what I'm going to say today. Um, just a minute. All right. In today's world filled with uncertainties, concerns about the future, and growing challenges in many aspects of our lives, it is not only important but an essential factor to involve young leaders and their ideas in decision making. Every day, thousands of lives are impacted by road crashes, and tragically, many of them are young people with promising futures. Despite this horrible reality, governments continue to shape policies that overlook youth needs and demands in road safety. As a youth advocate myself, I often get asked why we stand on a platform and deliver speeches when it seems like the world leaders aren't listening or taking action at all. My response is simple. We continue to advocate persistently until our voices are heard and our demands met. That is why we need more adolescents and youth pushing for change for road safety and better well being. As a proud citizen of India, I endorse the creation of Youth 20, which is an official consultation forum for youth from all G20 member countries to prepare them as future leaders to raise awareness of global challenges. However, we have a vital role to play beyond consultations, right? I demand my government and the world leaders to meaningfully involve youth in the decision making spaces. We cannot protect youth without involving youth. And as I always say, development not engendered is endangered. The well being of me and my peers relies on national policies that ensure that our voices are included and our needs are met. I would also like to call out young people around the world to build their capacities and skills to become powerful advocates for road safety. The Global Youth Coalition offers a range of resources and benefits for members around the world. Join us today because safer roads begin with you and me working together. India's theme for its G20 presidency is enshrined upon its cultural value system of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. Hence, our theme One Earth, One Family, and One Future. Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam means that the entire world is one family. Youth 20 is one of the official engagement groups of the G20. The Y20 engagement group will organize discussions pan India to consult the youth of the nation on ideas for a better tomorrow and draft an agenda for action. Y20 will provide a platform for youth to express their perspectives and ideas on G20 priorities. I would also like to add the five vital Y20 themes this year: future of work, climate change and disaster risk reduction, peace building and reconciliation, shared future in health, well being, and sports. This brings me to the historic milestone that Y20 has achieved this year with the groundbreaking consultation at Kashmir University on May 11. The Y20 consultation provided opportunities for collaboration and networking with other stakeholders and contributed to the development of youth. All relevant stakeholders were expected to take advantage of this opportunity to learn, network, and engage with one another through active participation and make this a very meaningful and exciting event. Now, when I talk about the correlation of climate change and related patterns and road safety, it is a very understudied yet a very, very important field of study for all of us. Increased changes in weather and rainfall patterns often induce a visible change in transportation periods, quality of roads, and a change in sea level might also affect the adjoining areas visibly. Rainfall contributes to slippery roads, which in turn affect the driver's comfort and disturbing other passers-by on the roads, which is meant for the public. Whenever we adopt any strategy, it is on us that it works well, right? In this case, I would like to request my fellow young leaders to advocate for a conspicuous change in this direction, and I am sure that the future is bright for us. Thank you.
Wow, at 19 years, you're so inspiring, I'm sure, to so many young people from India and across the world. Thank you to everyone who is taking our polls, and please continue taking the polls that are coming onto you. We've seen some responses coming on how road safety is linked to other SDGs. And like Guncha said, development that is not gendered is endangered. And road safety is interlinked to so many SDGs, including SDG 5 on gender, SDG 3 on good health and well-being, not forgetting SDG 4 on education. Like she's been saying, it's definitely linked to climate action, doing. And if we want to see a change in the world, we need to make sure that road safety is central in all we do. A friend of mine recently told me we no longer say hit two birds with one stone, but we are saying with road safety, we can feed 17 birds with one scone. And that means the 17 SDGs, we can fast track them if we use road safety as the one scone that can advance all these other areas where we want to see change. I now invite you to take our fifth poll. This poll, we want to hear about how you can improve road safety in your daily routine as a young person. And now we are moving on to one of the decision makers and leaders that we have on our panel today, Dr. Gauri from India. She is a deputy director at the Ministry of Health India, and I would like to hear from you, Doctor. How do you collaborate with young people in the work you do?
Thank you, Ali.
Over to you,
Am
Doctor.
I audible to?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It gives me immense pleasure to see such robust young people across the world so much concerned about a very important issue, that is road safety. And I must say that some of the issues Guncha has already addressed. So I feel very, very honored to be a part of this and share what Government of India considers very, very important. Road safety has been intertwined into most of all the activities, and we are committed to it. So, just to put in perspective the Indian context, globally more than 1,600 children die every day, of which 5.8 lakh every year from an injury, which is of which more than 600 children die as road safety injuries. As far as India is concerned, 2018 estimates of WHO and the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways states that although we have only 1% of world's vehicles, India contributes to 11% of all the road accident deaths and 6% of total road crashes. And a lot of children, more than 55,000 children since 2008, have lost their lives due to road crashes, large majority of them being adolescents. So that's life snuffed out even before they could have seen the light of the day. Most of these accidents and deaths happened near school and colleges. That is a cause for worry. The causes of death 2016 to 18 estimates given by the Ministry of Home Affairs states that close to 20% of the injuries are due to motor vehicle accidents. And amongst males and females, you have 30% of adolescent males and around 10 to 12% of adolescent females losing their lives to motor vehicle injuries. And surprisingly, it's absolutely proportionately equal in both urban as well as in rural areas of India. The Central Health Education Bureau is committed to the cause of health education and health promotion related to all aspects. So, as far as road injuries is concerned, 2 years back, we initiated a concept for bridging the gap between knowledge and actual practice amongst adolescents, specific to at least three major cities of India, which share a big burden of road traffic injuries in the adolescent age group. That being Delhi NCR, Jaipur in Rajasthan, and Bhopal in Madhya Pradesh. So, the acronym given to this program was PRATAP, that is the program for addressing risky behavior and attitude towards trauma prevention in school going children, with a specific focus on road traffic injuries. This was conducted in approximately 1,820 students, right from ninth to 12th standard, from 30 schools across these three states, of which we had an equal representation of private and government schools, and all of them were between the age group of 13 to 19 years of age. Very surprisingly, more than 70% of the students lack general awareness regarding road traffic rules, simple things like use of mobiles, red light, road traffic signs, and all sorts of things. Attitude was very poor across both gender, age, as well as city wise. And more important is around 70% were actually practicing risky behavior like using mobiles while traveling, jumping red lights, knowing that it is not to be done, and not using an indicator or even an horn while overtaking or anything. So, with all this, I feel very proud to state that we are committed to this cause of increasing the awareness, and we have come up with a very good campaign which we are going to be conducting in the next 1 to 2 years, which will be addressing all the school going children and the college going students also. Simultaneously, if I talk about the ministry, the national flagship program of school health in India has already incorporated road safety in it. A brochure promoting road safety was released jointly by the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Education in January 2023. With the assistance of UNICEF India, a very good, robust digital campaign has been conducted on road safety on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, which reached a record of 13 million people with almost 2 million post reactions. The road safety agenda, as Guncha had stated, has already been integrated into the G20 health event of the Ministry of Health, and four on site and regional consultations, along with one online consultation, has already been conducted with participation of around 500 adolescents across India, with multiple in-depth discussions, road safety quizzes, and all sorts of things. And the outcome paper has already been submitted. State level consultations have been conducted in Maharashtra, Gujarat, Telangana, one of the most populous states of India, with school principals, transport department officials, police, and health officials. And Y20 already has hosted and co-branded event in which NIMHANS, the National Institute of Mental Health and Neurological Sciences, along with Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, which is also a collaborating center for injury prevention. We have conducted a wonderful event of national caliber, that is the Y20 event, participated by around 1,000 adolescents and youths, which also focused on road safety. Consultations on injury prevention have been conducted with Truckers Association of India, and radio jockeys have taken up this concept of road safety in various forums. The first National Road Safety Planning meeting has been conducted on 17th of July 2023 with all the critical stakeholders across the country, including technical experts and decision makers. And we await a lot of recommendations which will be taken up by our institute and also in the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. One of the biggest
Wow,
opportunities that
definitely
yeah.
interesting.
So one of the
Yeah.
biggest opportunities that we have is a new flagship program that is called the Ayushman Bharat School Health Mission, in which the road safety is proposed to be a dedicated chapter. And under this program, UNICEF will be supporting four regional consultations with youth and adolescents for getting their insights into the road safety along with other thematic areas of concern. The draft papers are already ready. So, as far as I know, that we have a lot of things in the pipeline, and Central Health Education Bureau, which is in the process of getting upgraded into the National Institute of Health Promotion, along with the ministry's flagship school health mission, is absolutely geared on five different fronts. Firstly, conducting awareness campaigns on road safety throughout all the schools and colleges in a cascade manner. Secondly, road safety drills in schools and in communities to address out of school adolescents. those who are not in the organized sector of the schools or colleges. Advocating, thirdly, for a road safety dedicated chapter in the school health mission to the Niti Aayog, sensitizing the stakeholders not only of the traffic police and road departments, but also of the municipal corporations, trauma and rehabilitation center medical personnel, and all the other allied staff, including the first responders. And last but not the
Thank you so
least,
much,
being very
Dr. Guri. Thank you so much, Dr. Gure. That's so amazing. And it's really interesting to hear a lot of the good things that the government of India is doing to advance the well being of young people, but also meaningfully engage young people in the different processes that are happening. Like we mentioned before, this is going to be a very interesting session, engaging session. So we are now inviting you to take a quiz. It's an interesting quiz. We just want to jot your knowledge, your experience, and your understanding on different elements of road safety. So please take those quiz, and we'll be able to analyze the results together with you. Likewise, we are seeing a good number of questions coming in to our speakers, and I would like to go to the first question. I think this is addressed to Ezekiel. We have a member who is asking, did you manage to work with decision makers? How do we advocate to fight distracted driving without policy change or enforcement? Ezekiel, you could perhaps use a few seconds to just respond to this participant.
Perfect. So we didn't manage to work with decision makers. We were bringing this campaign, don't get distracted, to the Buenos Aires legislature to use a game we were using to raise awareness with the decision makers so that they can see the effect it has on the road. And it is being worked on in the commission. But the thing is, and one of the of my learnings from this project is that you have to be very insistent with decision makers, as there's a lot of topics in their own agendas, and so you and especially when in Argentina we are in a electoral year. So one of my learnings is that you have to be very insistent, but you can get to them. And about the second question, how do we how can we improve road safety regarding distracted driving without policy change or enforcement? Well, having it in the agenda is the first step. In Argentina, we don't have, for example, that much of statistics regarding distracted driving, and campaigns about distracted driving are not one of the main focuses of the government. So pushing it to the agenda, having the decision makers discuss this in either in the legislature or the executive is, I think, the first step we can all do so that we can then move to policy change.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ezekiel. We see another question here directed to Guncha, our youngest speaker today. Guncha, we have a youth leader here asking, what should governments and decision makers need more urgently to reduce number of people killed and severely injured on the roads? This question is from Shana Luches. She's asking, what do governments need urgently to reduce the number of people killed on the roads?
All right. Am I clearly audible? Okay. So I would like
Yes,
to
you are.
correlate this basically that the largest age group that is killed is that of adolescents and young people. when it comes to my country, India, and it was also enshrined in the World Health Organization's official report. So I would like to say that even now there exist national programs such as Rashtriya Kishore Swasthya Karyakram, which create awareness about adolescent health through peer education, because that is really important. What we see our classmates experiencing or learning through time has a very great impact on us. So basically, tweaking policy changes and interpreting them best suited to adolescents' health needs, I would say, is a step in the right direction that will actually help us to reduce the casualties and drop us down on the list of countries that have the highest number of road safety accidents. A similar approach is also observed in adolescent education programs under the National Education Policy 2020, the recently revised version of which has been launched. So I would say, including adolescents in decision making, uh, telling them that their inputs are essential and the necessary infrastructural development within our health sector is a very, very important step that we should be taking and we must take at this juncture of time, at this crucial juncture of time, to make sure that the casualties uh, coming out of road accidents are lessened, and we can definitely protect our youth and every other person who might be affected by this. So, yes, I would like to emphasize that.
Yeah, thank you so much. And definitely with the commitment work that has been going on, we are seeing countries like Mexico committing to promote to reduce road traffic crashes among adolescents and young people based on the implementation of New Mexico's general law on mobility and road safety. And it's actions like this where the governments are making policy change and also meaningfully engaging young people that we can have hope of reverting this dangerous statistic where we are losing more than 1.3 million people every day. Sorry, every year to road traffic crashes, majority of which are young people. I see another question here for Guncha as well as Ezekiel and Uyen, but I'll begin with you, Uwe. Uwe, what role can young people play in ending road traffic crashes?
Well, I think the role of the young people is very important. Yeah, because they have to raise their voice. Yes, they have to use their voice through the application I mentioned before. Yeah, that provide information of the crash or yes, of the crash to the government, yeah, for them to know. And don't do this alone. Collaborate. Yeah, as you can understand, I don't work by myself to make things change in my country. I have the chance that a non-profit organization is present in Vietnam, and I work for it. We work with many people every day, government, but also schools and youth and children like you. To make changes happen, start by discussing it with the people around you. For example, you can ask your teachers at school if they know about road safety initiatives in your community. If not, maybe you will be the one starting it by asking some questions. So thank you all for being there today to start the discussion.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Uwe. We can start small. We can start from where we are, and we need to collaborate and come together as young people to be able to create a force that can influence decision making at national level, but also at global level. Back to you, Dr. Guri. In your opinion, you are a key decision maker. You are a leader in your own right. What role, in your opinion, can young people play? Please, in a minute or so.
Yeah, so as far as young people are concerned, firstly, you need to motivate one another to actually adopt. A lot of young people have a lot of knowledge. The attitude might also be there, but like it was stated earlier, the peer pressure allows you to experiment. but having the confidence and having the courage to say no to what is wrong needs to be developed. Secondly, come what may, any risky behavior requires involvement from all stakeholders. So it's not just the 13 to 19-year age group. I would say it should start very young. Even when we have small children who we make them seated on the front of a two-wheeler, or even when they are seated in a four-wheeler at the back, whereas in India it's not important to have a seat belt across your for the passengers in the back. So what we need to inculcate is road safety right from maybe the school age group, say 5 years, 10 years. So by the time maybe they come into adolescent age group, it gets ingrained. It takes a lot of time for getting habits around. So that would be my point
Yeah.
for all the youngsters in this age group.
Thank you so much. And I definitely agree with you. And for countries, yesterday we're launching Botswana's national commitment on adolescent well-being, and the role for young people was to all the young people that are joining us today, please take action in your own right. Use the resources you have to start small so that you're able to mobilize your peers, educate each other, and hold your leaders accountable to the fulfillment of these commitments that have been made. We are seeing the responses coming in from the poll. Some of you are suggesting we, as young people, we can take action by choosing to move with green transport, asking action from leaders and government, sharing information with inner circles such as family members and friends. And I definitely agree with you. We need to take action starting from our own homes. We have a 10th poll. We request you to take the 10th poll and the 11th poll that will kind of is a wrap up to the discussions we've been having today. And Uwe, do you have any final words for our listeners today?
Uh, yeah, so I just have some final words that you have to share with everyone around you. Yes, about the things, about the situation of the roads you are facing every day. Yes, and because you are the young people, yes, and you have a right, for young people to raise their voice because you're one of the population. Yes, and I think the government will listen to you, yeah, and improve the roads, improve all the situations you are facing. Well, yes. Mhm.
Yeah, thank you so much, Uwe. And it's amazing to hear of all the work you're doing in Vietnam. Uh, to all our young leaders here today, I remind you to register and join the Global Youth Coalition for Road Safety. We've listened to testimonials from Ezekiel on how this network and movement of young people can support you to not only gain more knowledge in road safety, but also join a network of influential young leaders from all over the world. Uh, there at the website of the Youth for Road Safety, you will also find some useful resources such as policy papers that can help you link road safety to the SDGs, that can help you advocate for meaningful youth engagement, among others. And they also have the Youth Academy where you can take free courses on road safety. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining us today. Thank you so much for your engagement throughout the session, and I hope we've taken the 11th poll. I'm here trying to look at my computer to see the responses that are coming in, but a good number of you are appreciating the sessions. You're feeling inspired and ready to do the change you want to see. Someone is saying, I liked the session, but I wish there was more time to learn more. Oh, this is very interesting. We wish we had more time. Definitely, road safety is a topic that can go on for days. Road safety is a topic that should be integrated in all the global discussions we are having on education, on health, on climate action, and definitely we need young people at the center of these discussions. Remember, stop blaming us and start engaging us. For so many stakeholders that we work with, we always narrow it down to road user behavior of young people. But to us as youth, we feel this is more of a systemic issue, and we need the commitments to come in on governments to make policy decisions that make the future and the experiences of young people on the road better. We are wrapping up this session. Unfortunately, we can't have more time for us to discuss more issues, but go to the websites of the Global Youth Coalition for to be able to learn more. Check the website of your foundation to know about the commitments that have been made on road safety in different countries such as MEO, South Africa, and Botswana. The AIP Foundation is doing amazing work with young people. We've heard from the stakeholder from the government of India. We have a lot that is happening, but we need more to happen. So please hold your leaders accountable, join the networks of young people that are creating change, and we wish you a great day and enjoy the Global Forum. Bye-bye.